As I approached the entrance of the building, I quickly reconsidered my choices. I hadn't had much money at the moment, but I surely could afford to live somewhere else better than this. The recent dark brown paint job on the front canopy seems to be trying desperately to make it cracking. The faded brick It only augments how rundown this place looks. The porch itself looks like it has been installed a decade or two ago and never taken care of since. But as this was the only place I found even ago and never taken care of since, but as this was the only place I had found even remotely in my price range, I trudged up the steps and knocked on the door, feeling like it might come off as I do so. After a minute or so, I've been wondering if there is anyone even still living in this pile of rotting wood. There isn't any sign of life through the at least. I jumped slightly at the sound of locks turning on the other side of the door. Then it swings open, letting out a wave of slightly musty air in its wake. The man on the other side looks at me as if I had just interrupted his lunch. I step back slightly as I stammer, I'm here about the room for as I stupidly hold up the ad as if to clarify that I was indeed talking to him. He stares at me for a minute, and suddenly a gust of makes me shiver. Quite suddenly, he steps back, gesturing me inside. I hesitate before stepping inside the building. Suddenly, the inside of the building doesn't seem as bad. It almost looks like a different building, really. The wallpaper, though dated, doesn't look like it's peeling, and the floor is level and my looking about is cut short. However, as the man doesn't seem keen on waiting for me, his gesturing up the stairs gets even more terse. I follow him up the stairs, and he leads me to the second. I awoke to a crash from the hall and a bolt to the door. I cautiously look into the hall, but I see nothing. I step into the hall, worried someone might be hurt or terrified someone might be preparing to hurt me, and so head towards the stairwell. Inside the stairwell, I notice a shadow of a man disappear behind the staircase. A shiver passed through me, and I am not sure whether to follow or go back. After a moment hesitation, I follow. I look behind the staircase, but all I see is a photograph. My photograph, lying on the floor. Me and my great-grandfather, the one who disappeared 10 years ago. At least from what me and my... What was that? I heard a creaking behind me. It feels like as if heat was arising from behind me, which gave me a rise in my fight or flight instinct. When turning, the rotten wood floor made a screeching, spine-chilling, bone-shaking sound as I turned slowly. Look, the man that resembled my great-grandfather was nose to nose with me. As he looked deeper and deeper into my soul, his evil smile got bigger and bigger. A smile so disturbing, so morbid, so traumatizing. While he stared deep into me, I didn't recognize that my body was levitating. All of a sudden, my body is hanging in midair. When I looked at the man that looked like my grandfather, I recognized it was him, after all. I see what happened to him and why he disappeared. He was this monster I'm staring at this second. As he knew I recognized him. I guess that made him more angry of some sorts. The fear that trembled through my body was something unimaginable. I started feeling my bones in my body start to bend and break. My intestines ripping, stomach shredding, lungs bursting, and my rib cage broken wide open. There was nothing left of me. No,